Hello, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And yeah, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. We're trying to reach 1K this year at the end of the Premier League season or before that, and 800 in this month, people. So make sure to subscribe if you're new already. And yeah, this will be the second of 3 videos that I have for today because there'll be no live. There'll be no live today, but we'll be back with the lives tomorrow. Um, Manchester City. The reason why I'm talking about Manchester City is because I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to say because I watched that Real Madrid game yesterday. I've watched Man City a lot throughout this season, as you do, because they're Man City. I've seen their fall off. I've seen the way they've been operating in terms of their form the last few months. Kind of only started to get worried about them since the Sporting game, the around the time when they lost to Sporting and Brighton. And I just thought, they'll turn this around. But they haven't. And this is the problem I have is, for example, it's 5 against Arsenal, 4 against Tottenham, a capitulation at the end against Manchester United. We're 1-0 down to Leighton Orient. How many did Sporting put past them? Brighton did a comeback against them. I'm seeing like mid-table mentality when it comes to their in-game management. I think Pep has to take responsibility as well. I think everyone does it at Man City. They all do when it comes to players, manager, and backroom staff or whatever, and the recruitment team. The reason why I say that as well is because I'm not going to do this whole thing of, Pep's finally finished, Pep's finally fall off, because people can't wait to crash it on Man City because they've been at the top. Same when Man United were on top for years, people couldn't wait to crash it on them. It's simple as everyone wants the crown. Everyone wants to be the best, and whoever is the best is going to get more haters. That's part and parcel of everything in life. But with Man City, everyone couldn't wait to crash it on Pep, and listen, to a certain extent, rightly so, because a lot of his subs have been suicidal. Like, I don't remember if Ake was injured yesterday. I really don't remember. But it's subs like Kovacic coming on for Ake, like making their midfield way more open. Gundogan coming on. Like, every time Gundogan comes on, he makes it even worse. Like, and listen, Kyle Walker was a problem, but he wasn't the only problem. I think everyone knew that. But no one was surprised when Real Madrid scored at the end. And that's a big problem because when you look at Man City in general, especially in their treble season, they were able to hold out in games. They were able to see games out and stay strong and compact in defence. And they looked somewhat good after their goal yesterday in the first half. But as soon as Akanji came off Rico Lewis, you can kind of see the dip in the squad every time they make a sub. There's been a fall off, a massive fall off in a lot of those players. But when there's a massive fall off in a lot of those players, you kind of got to look at the manager a bit because it's not just a coincidence if it's happening to everyone. No, I don't think Akanji's that good. I thought he was good in a treble season. I thought he was one of their better players last year. But this year, what the hell has happened? Don't even think Vinicius was that good yesterday, but he has been one of the best players in the Champions League for the past few years. And Akanji stood his ground and defended him well, but it seems like every defender they have has been running to the ground and has made a string. Ruben Diaz, Ake, Stones, and Akanji all get injured quite a bit now. It was coming to a point where they were playing that Simpson guy instead, and Mateus Nunes at right back, who's also terrible in and out of his position. That Savio sub. Why did Savio come off? Oh, wait. Not even Savio. Savio came off for Marmouche. I don't think that needed to happen. I know, I think before all the subs were actually made, you take off De Bruyne. The reason why you take off De Bruyne, Foden's already come on. I would have put Foden on in the first place. I would have put Marmouche on. Don't think Foden had a bad game. No, he drew the penalty. Cool. He had an okay game. But that's for his standard. We expect a lot more from him. But it's the likes of having Marmouche and Savio on both sides will give you way more dynamism, way more of a problem. But by the time Marmouche came on, City looked dejected and ran out of ideas. I actually don't think it was a bad lineup yesterday, despite the fact that Bernardo Silva's also fallen off as well. But the way they're conceding goals is not normal. It's not normal for any quality of team, let alone what Man City should be and what Man City have been. Like the way they conceded last-minute goals, the way they conceded 2 back-to-back in 90 minutes. Brahim Diaz, it took, 80 seconds for him to score against his former club? The way they conceded that Bellingham goal was ridiculous. Like, What's Edison doing? What's Ortega been doing this season? Like, everyone's been falling off. You got to look at everyone. And this is why when I made the video a few weeks ago talking about is Vitor Reis, Kusanov, and Marmoush enough right now to save Manchester City? The reason why I said no is because they've got to settle in. They have to settle in. Then, like, Man City have got to get used to them. They've got to get used to Man City playing the Man City way or whatever, and the Pep Guardiola way. And by them having to settle in, they're not going to hit the ground running. Despite Marmoush showing glimpses, he's not going to hit the ground running straight away. Simple as that. He looks like a good player, but he's not going to hit the ground running. So nothing's really going to change. Even though they signed a Nico Gonzalez guy, he got injured against Leighton Orient, didn't even play yesterday. Clearly it was too soon. They finally signed a midfielder, good for them, but again, he's got to get used to it. He's got to get used to how Pep plays. And to be honest, they need players everywhere around the pitch for their standard. If they want to get back to title challenging, a lot of their squad has fallen off. But a lot of their big players aren't turning up. Phil Foden had a couple good games against Ipswich and whoever. But we haven't seen you throughout the season. Bernardo Silva, the fall off since the trouble season needs to be talked about. Because he was one of my favourite players to watch when he was good. But you're playing in the middle and you've been absolutely dog shit. And you are better in the middle, but you just fell off in general because even when he's been playing on the right this season, he's played a couple of times off the right. He's been shit. Jack Grealish, I didn't even think he was that bad before he came off yesterday. I thought he was actually quite good. One of his better games, retaining the ball, and it actually did quite well against Real Madrid. But this guy is a winger. This guy is a touchline winger. He did well in the trouble season to recycle the ball, and he did all Pep needed him to do. But after that, they weren't playing the same system, so we kind of need more from you from the left. Apparently, he didn't get a goal in the whole of the calendar year last year. So that's crazy in itself. And then you've got to look at the manager. I don't think he's cooked or anything. What I do think, though, is that he needs to spice it up. He's good at evolving like his own teams. However, this has kind of been an anomaly. This has been an anomaly. I'm not rating the way City are playing right now. And people can say City are usually boring. This is a different level. It's not even boring, it's a lack of quality. And we're talking about Manchester City and the lack of quality in the final third. Somebody who I do think is a bit cooked, though, because this guy's played with injury for 2 years. I think he's falling off quite early. It's Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think we're ever going to see the same Kevin De Bruyne again, obviously, because he's older now, but the guy's been playing with an injury for 2 years. Even when he was coming back, he wasn't fully fit. He's even said it himself. But this is the problem. If you're going to keep aggravating someone's injury and then kind of peering off into the last few years of their career, he's kind of got to be a squad player now. And the thing is, he isn't going to get a break for fucking Belgium. He has to play for Belgium. Then again, I would just retire from international football, especially if you're Belgian. But yeah. So the whole City team is cooked right now. Whole City team is cooked. But that's the way it is. Make sure to leave a like on the video, people. Make sure to subscribe to the social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, the email for the inquiries. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.